Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's Lisa. I am doing my prep and gear up for One Book July. Yes, it's already here. I have experimented this year with new formats, new ways of organizing and getting myself together, and I'm still ready to experiment going into the latter half of this year and more to get ready actually for next year, as crazy as that seems. But as you can see, I've got numerous planners. This was used for travel this year. It did not quite work for me. As you can see, I don't like the overhang and bulk on my regular traveler's notebook. This was after they did Midori. I love this camel color, which is now patinaed into a nice rich kind of goldeny brown, but as you can see when you rub it, it can actually vary a little bit. I've even got this year I've tried to incorporate just using my Hobonichi weeks. It's been working out really quite well for me. I'm mostly using it for tracking my daily stuff and doing agenda planning. I am getting a little bit tired of drawing borders and lines around my pages like so. But for the most part, it's actually okay. I think that going forward next year, I bought the Mega. I don't know if I need the Mega for what I'm using it for. I do like using it, though. I have another knockoff version of this Hobonichi Weeks that I'm using for healthcare tracking, and I do like that one a lot. I love this zipper cover, but I'm finding overall, throwing this even into my regular bag, it's bulky and it gets heavy, especially when you start loading up a lot of ephemera. But I will probably stick with it next year because I do like it as kind of like rip it out journal. I can pretty much capture most of the things that I want to capture in it. So this is the Hobonichi Weeks. It is working for me. I haven't gotten, well, I should say this. I'm halfway through the year and I have not bulked it out like I thought I would at this point. But it is feeling kind of congested a little bit in here. My pen is rusting up against this in the back rail. I really do actually like this planning system. So I'm on the fence about 2023. And I don't know what it is about this camera in my hands, but they look ashy, but they really are not. I actually do have lotion on my hands, but they look really washed out with the light. I've got funny, funky light going on because it's very stormy and overcast here. This journal cover I introduced a couple of months ago as well. I've put on a new platform 9 3/4 charm on it, what I saw off at Etsy. I need to do a review of this fountain pen. This is my Parker IM. I will say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll do a review on this fountain pen. It was kind of a surprise for me. This is the A6 size. I really do like this journal a lot. I find that I use this journal, it's kind of personal, that I do find it, you know, very, very beneficial to throw in and take it with me. It's a little bit smaller and a little less heavier, surprisingly enough, than the Hobonichi Weeks. I really do like this size. I find that A6, I've rediscovered it again. I had the original Hobonichi Techo probably about 6 years ago, maybe 5 actually. Didn't really particularly care for it at the time, but I've been using the Hobonichi Techo for my habit tracking for like school and studying stuff that I'm studying that I don't need to get a degree for. I've got a couple of degrees already, but that I'm just kind of doing self-study work in, and I'm actually really, really enjoying that. But when it comes to travel this year, I've noticed that taking the standard size TN has been cumbersome, I will say. I do like my traveler's notebooks that I've got, but I really want to see if I can even condense down and get smaller, as that might seem strange than even that. And I was using this passport before COVID. Actually, I was throwing this into my bag. But once I put in the insert for the monthly, and this clip actually is kind of heavy, but once I put in the insert for the monthly, I noticed that, you know, I don't like the overhang. This is like a little wallet, but I use it for ephemera, but I could use this totally as a wallet. I know a lot of people do. It's not really working for me that way, but I do like to travel with this, and this is a drawing journal back here that I used to like just kind of hack around locally with, but I'm having a hard time dealing with that overhang. So with that being said, of course Lisa had to go out and buy more stuff. Drama Googles out of Houston had and I based this off of watching Lindsay scribble. I absolutely find her to be my journaling planning muse. Hooked me up with a tidbit that I really, really liked, and that was using the Leuchtturm pocket. Now this should be, I think it's somewhere between a traveler's notebook size. I'm going to pull out my monthly journal here in just a second, and an A6, because I don't think it's a true A6 size, but I might be surprised. So let me just pull out my traveler's notebook, and as you can see, it is substantially larger than the traveler's notebook size for the passport. So there's that one that's bigger for, and then just put this back in here. Oops, I lost my band, but that's bigger than this one, and I know it's smaller than, this is a Midori insert, and I can just hold this up. I've got this in the paper cover, but I've got my personal information in there, which I don't need everybody to see. So, and it's a little less, not quite as big as an A6 size. So this is kind of acting as a in-between size between the two, and I'm hoping that with those being a little bit too small and a little bit too big, that I'm finally in the Goldilocks bed of it feels just right. And with that, I also got a wonderful Drama Googles Texas sticker. So thank you, Drama Googles. They were very kind, and they were one of the only few people that had this Leuchtturm available. Actually, let me go back to here. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little scattered. I'm so excited, I'm getting scattered. Okay, so Lindsay Scribble talked about using a A6 Leuchtturm, and I think she was using it as kind of a bullet journal. I don't remember the YouTuber that I was watching, but I was watching someone on YouTube, and they introduced this one, which is the yearly planner, and I'm going to use the other pages in the back for like ink swatching or whatever, like miscellaneous dribbles. But I really did like the layout of this plan, and I do like, I'm more of a horizontal planner than I am a vertical, you know, like the weeks go this way, because I find that cuts down on the week size, which you can put into the columns for the weeks, for the days of the week. And I like more of a horizontal plan. So my goal is with this is to see if this is going to work for me next year. And one of the things that I liked about this, Donka, you're welcome, Leuchtturm. And then they got writers and thinkers, and there's a little club here, QRC code, talks about the Leuchtturm 1917. These were all sold out on the Leuchtturm 1917 USA website. Thank you so much, which is very nice from them. And then there is this one. And Drama Googles was the only retailer that I could find, because you cannot find this on Amazon, that had anything that was like this. And with the weekly planner, it's 80 GSM, so it should be completely fountain pen friendly. They have the little pocket in the back, and they have labels for the book once you're done. What I do like about this format, and what the person pointed out that I was watching, and if I can find the lady's link on YouTube, I will put it down below, is that because it's got the year in it, So we've got 2021, which is a waste. So I might end up covering this up with something else because I don't need to go that far back, or 2022. But you've got the years in review. I'm sorry, 2022. We're still in 2022. This would be helpful. But then 2023 for future planning, just to look at some dates. Again, you've got this layout, which would function really quite nicely. Again, future planning or future log, you could actually go ahead and put stuff in for a future log for the rest of the year. Right? So that's how that is. So you get a nice 3 months per page, and then it goes into 2023, which is even better. You've got a bookmark there. So it does all of 2023 as well. International holidays, just in case anybody's planning international travel, you can kind of see what's going on in that country. And then it's got the project plan, and this is what I found to be pretty exciting about this book, because now you have the ability all the way through, I think this goes all the way through, yep, each month, and you can use this as a habit tracker. And I just thought that was really cool. That's what I've been actually trying to look for. What's missing out of the Gibbon Techo, just the regular A6 size, that's missing out of that. This is what's also a little bit missing out of even the Hobonichi Weeks, the mega editions or the regular ones. So this is why I got really excited about that, because it's the one thing that, like in the mega, you can use the back pages to do all your habit tracking, but in like the regular Techo, you can't. And then because this is a yearly weekly plan, it started like the last week right after Christmas and ran into January. So you've got the horizontal layout per day, and that's a pretty good sizable area to actually plan your day out. That's more than enough room. It doesn't have tick marks up on the lines, but at least you can actually, if you wanted to split this into a column, you could do, you know, your events over here, or your to-dos over here, and your appointments over here, whatever. However you want to flip-flop that or arrange it, you have that. The weekends are a little bit tight, but hopefully you find enough space to do what you need to do. In the back, I don't think you get any extra pages. You get some. So you do have, you know, if you're not trying to bullet journal this up, you do have some extra pages to put down maybe one kind of collection, or, you know, books you want to read on one page, but it's got to be kind of tight. But I have other journals to do that in, and you've got enough pages. I think you've got about 15 pages or so, maybe 20. And here's the labels that you always get with the Leuchtturm, to upside down and backwards, to kind of tell you what your book is. So really excited. And then this is a little, actually, and this is, I forgot about this. This is like a little address book. So I don't really write down addresses anymore. I keep those electronically, but this could be a good password keeper. So I might use it for something like that. But I also found that this is a really good idea as well. So even though it's like, I think, set up solely for addresses, it's not, because they give you blank columns, and as long as you can utilize the columns the way that they have, or make your own, you can make this section of the back of it whatever you want as well. So I'm looking forward to utilizing this for One Book July, because this is nice and small and should fit into any kind of size bag that I have. With that, I did not get a pin loop for that, so I will probably try to get one for that. And then I decided to try this as the cover for this. So we're going to see how this works out. I'm just going to put all the accoutrements from this into the back here and get to the front, lock this down, because I just want to see how this is going to work. I found this on Amazon, and I've been buying various, as you've seen, journal covers this year, but what excited me about this one was the price and the fact that it was 100% leather. I will put the link down below. I forgot what the name of the shop was from Amazon. Of course, this is made in China, like everything else in the world, but it says Treasures by September Leather, but that's not the name of the shop that I got it from on the Amazon site. So, without much further ado, another thing that I liked about this is it had a spine already on it, and I was going to see how this was going to work for me. So, oh yeah, it's leather, and it has a reinforced spine, and I really like that. And it's got a nice kind of veggie oil tan feel to it. I don't know if you guys are seeing me being able to kind of like streak my hands through it, but it's really nice actually. Let's look in the inside. So this would be the front. So they've got scalloped pockets for your cards, and this is one big pocket back here. It has, okay, technically it has 4, but I would probably use this as just 1. And then it's got the one big pocket and a nice sewn in pin loop. This journal cover will fit, I think, quite nicely. I'm going to actually take the extra pocket accessory from Leuchtturm out, since I tend to want to not. It doesn't fit. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, so unfortunately for me, this does not fit. But let me see if it fits passport size, because then that would be, sorry for shaking the camera, the other option, and just doing it, and I can just use that one as is, because there's no loss on that. Let me just see if it'll actually accommodate the problem that I'm having with the Midori, or I'm sorry, the Traveler's Notebook series. Yeah, this, it does fit. This, it absolutely does fit the traditional size. Let me just get this in here like this. Traveler's Notebook. So I was hoping that it would do the Leuchtturm, and it's just a little bit too big for, I mean, yeah, the Leuchtturm's a little bit too big for that. But let me see if it can fit in all the attachments and strings for, there we go, for this, because maybe it'll solve that problem for travel, because I still have the problem with this actually fitting for travel and all the things that I want to actually stick in, and for that it is actually working. So I think I do need all 4 strings, which is great, because that means I can now still utilize this cover without having to send it back to Amazon, especially since they closed all the Amazon bookstores, which I'm just really kind of bummed about. I don't know about anybody else, but I actually did like the Amazon bookstores. I found them to be quite beneficial, especially when it came to returning things, because it was just so much easier than going to a UPS store. And then I've got my cover back here. All right, so here's the trick with, there's not much overlap. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Let me just flap this down, because this was actually clipping in one of these. Just clip this down. $24 for this, and it's leather, and it smells like leather. And there goes the problem with the overhang, just like that. That's awesome. I'm very satisfied with this product, actually. I'm going to actually keep this because I really like it. I wish they made one now a little bit bigger for the Leuchtturm pocket, but no fear. This is a pretty self-contained unit, because you know, it's a hardbound cover, so I should be able to kind of throw this around into my bag and not have it be an issue. So that's what I'm going to be utilizing for One Book July. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm going to go ahead and try to slide this into the back of this folder without killing it. But in the interim, take care, and please give a thumbs up to the video if you have any questions or comments, or want to know what my feedback is after utilizing this little gem or this little gem. Let me know. I will definitely respond as soon as I can. All right, take care and talk to you later. Until next time, bye.